Good morning, students. Today we are going to start Chapter 2 Salient Features of the Constitution, Part 1. Now, in this chapter, the first topic we are dealing with is single citizenship. Now, what does this topic single citizenship mean? As the word in itself is describing single, that means we are talking about one citizenship only. So basically, this means that everyone in India, they are only the citizen of India and not of their states. Why do we say this? So first we will take the example of USA. In USA, the citizens hold dual citizenship. That means they are the citizen of the USA, of the country, as well as of their respective state. So if a person is from New York, he or she is a citizen of New York and also the citizen of America. But this is not done in the case of India. If I am from Bihar or if I am from Karnataka or Punjab or from any state, I am not the citizen of that state, but I am only the citizen of India. This is the basic meaning of single citizenship. The question which should come to our mind is that why do we have this single citizenship? So basically, we know that throughout Indian history, there has been a lot of tendency of dividing and ruling, and the citizens have been fighting amongst themselves due to some reason or the other, and people from outside have taken advantage of it. So, in order to avoid any such future circumstances, it was decided that everyone will be offered only the citizenship of the country and not of the state. So, you can say it was done to ward off, to remove any kind of separate feelings, separatist tendencies, and to promote brotherhood and unity among the people. So, if I ask you what is the meaning of single citizenship, and this comes for a 3-mark question, you will say single citizenship means that all Indians, irrespective of the state of their domicile means wherever their permanent address may be. So, supposingly, if I stay in Patna, my domicile, my permanent residence will be Patna. So when we are saying about single citizenship, you will say that any Indian, irrespective of the state of their domicile, they are citizens of India and not of their respective states. So, for example, an Indian may be from Bihar or Punjab, but he is only the citizen of India and not of their respective states. And why was single citizenship implemented? So, it was done to ward off separatist tendencies and to promote fraternity and unity among the people. Now, there was later a change that was initiated, and there was an act, an amendment which was passed in 2003. This is called the Citizenship Amendment Act 2003. Now, through this act, this amendment, what happened? That people who are staying outside, that means whom you call the NRI, non resident Indians, or the persons of Indian origin, they are both the same. So, such people who are actually Indian in origin, but they have gone and they have settled abroad, to such people who have migrated after 26 January 1950, they were offered dual citizenship. What this dual citizenship means, that they can have all the other rights as an Indian except for the right to vote and some other rights, like they cannot contest to the election of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. They cannot go and apply for very high constitutional posts such as president or prime minister. But other than that, supposingly if they want to buy some land in the country, or if they want to open some startup in the country, for these kind of things they will have equal rights as the other citizens. So, if I ask you what was the Citizenship Amendment Act 2003, you will say that through this amendment, the government of India had decided to grant dual citizenship to all the persons of Indian origin who had migrated to other countries after 26 January 1950. And all the privileges of an Indian citizen would be granted to these people except for the right to vote. So, this is the meaning of dual citizenship. Now, this is something that you have studied in class 7th also. It's a very easy topic, universal adult franchise. So, when we are talking about it, you know the meaning that universal adult franchise means that any citizen above the age of 18, they have a right to vote. They may be from any caste, creed, color, religion, gender, but irrespective of all those differences, every citizen above the age of 18 has the right to vote. This has been done because you know that India is the largest democracy in the world, and the word democracy itself means that the people should have participation in the form of government. If we don't give everybody the right to vote, then there is no meaning of a democracy. So, in order to offer political democracy to the citizens, everybody has a right to vote above the age of 18. Now, basically, we are talking about two things called separate electorate and joint electorate, which is very, very important for your exam. Now, when we are talking about what this communal electorate or separate electorate is, in the pre independence period, when the Britishers were here, there was a system of separate electorate, also called communal electorate, which was being held in India. What happened in this is that there were separate seats, there were separate electorates for the purpose of election that were divided. So the Muslims, for example, could vote for the only Muslim candidate, and the Hindus could only vote for the Hindu candidate. And this created a lot of divide and rule feeling, a lot of communal tension. That means tension based on religious differences among the people of India. So the government had decided after independence to remove this separate electorate system and to start a process of joint electorate. So in separate electorate, you will say, if I ask you that which earlier system did the joint electorate replace, you will say that the British had provided for communal or separate electorates under the Acts of 1919 and 1935. The Constitution of Independent India replaced this communal electorate by introducing joint electorate. And what is this joint electorate? So this means that all the voters of a constituency of an area, they can vote for the same candidate irrespective of his caste or creed. So from my area, from my ward or constituency, I may have any person, he may be from any religion, any caste, creed, color, that should not matter, and everybody will vote for that same candidate irrespective of all those differences. And it's natural that why was this introduced? So this was introduced to curb means to remove or reduce, to reduce any kind of communal politics, that means any politics based on religion, and to foster, to promote communal harmony, that means peace and brotherhood among religions. This was the reason why it was introduced. So this is a very important question. If I ask you what is joint electorate, according to joint electorate, all the voters of a constituency can vote for the same candidate. Here, please remember the key word is same candidate, irrespective of his caste, creed or culture. And why was joint electorate introduced? So it was introduced to curb communal politics and foster communal harmony. So I hope this video is clear to all of you.